guys, we have multiple breaking news coming out. We're going to start with this one first. Vladimir Putin has just ignored US President demand to stop war in Ukraine by launching lethal kamikaze drones. All right, so we're going to get to this one here. We have more breaking news. The Holy Land fears US moving fast toward a bad deal that won't end Persia path to nuclear. We have more breaking news coming out, guys. Look at this one. Tonight is raining ballistic. All right, so you have US, you have the Holy Land, you have multiple countries right now. They are firing. So sleeping giant strike hit key Houthis targets in Yemen. We have this one here. A long-range ballistic fire earlier tonight by Persian-backed Houthis group at southern Holy Land. We have more breaking news coming out. India, Pakistan firefight exchange for second consecutive night, reported by the news. Once again, new exchange of fire in Kashmir as India-Pakistan tensions explode after a huge event in 25 years. So we're going to get to all this here, guys. There's a lot of stuff going down tonight. All right, so it's a new day out there. And so far, there's been a lot of exchanges going on out there. Meanwhile, here and outside, everybody's sleeping. Besides Lewis. Lewis is like a night hawk. I stay up till like 4 in the morning and give everybody the news. I'm kidding, guys. Actually, kind of think about it, it is true. But yeah, we're gonna get to all this breaking news here, guys. Once again, we do have some more information. It says turn off the lights, save millions of birds. We're gonna get to all this here, guys. FBI investigates dramatic surge of lasers. Laser strike near Washington. All right, in Washington airports. All right, so we're gonna start with the. Let's start with Putin being too defiant, and Donald. He's not liking it. Donald is not liking it. All right, guys. Before I start, for those of you that want to send us letters or prayer requests, you can send it to me, US Santiago, or my wife Jessica Santiago at 3432 US Highway 19, number 2, Holiday, Florida 34691. It says here, according to multiple reports, U.S. President issued a public plea to Putin, urging him to cease military operation, with the phrase, Vladimir, stop. You can't talk to Vladimir like that. I mean, Vladimir's like, I'm not a kid. You don't tell me what to do, man. I mean, Donald needs to be more kind of really hardcore, but not like that. Vladimir, stop. Stop it, Vladimir. I mean, that's why I tell my pit bull, Tyson, stop it. All right, so this demand came amid heightened international scrutiny of the bare military activity, particularly in Ukraine, where the use of advanced weaponry has intensified. The call was intended to de-escalate the situation, but Vladimir response, or lack thereof, have been starkly defiant. That name Defiant is kind of rising throughout the entire world. Everyone's too defiant. No one is paying attention. No one's following laws. Everybody's just going crazy and nuts, breaking laws. I mean, I just posted a video about 2 judges already cuffed, being too defiant against Donald. You know what the Bible says, that in the end times, friends and parents will betray. Parents and young ones will betray each other, and families is gonna betray each other. I mean, it's just gonna happen at the very end. Everybody just going to be lawless, and this is a tip of it. Metro UK reported that the bare deployment of kamikaze drones followed almost immediately. after Donald's statement signaling deliberate rejection of the U.S. president request. The drones, known for their precision and destructive capability, have been a significant factor in the Bear military strategy, further complicating diplomatic efforts to broker peace. Now, the international community has reacted with alarm, as evidenced by posts on X and various news outlets. The settlement on X reflects a mix of outrage and skepticism, with users like, I'm going to skip their name, describing Donald failed appeal as a global humiliation and a textbook case of being mugged by reality. Same thing is happening with, what's his name? Mr. Boris Johnson. He was the former Prime Minister of UK, I believe. Boris Johnson, he came out today and said, Donald, I think it's time for you to step up the game, and basically referring to nukes. So yeah, not a good message. While X posts are not definitive evidence, they underscore the public's perception of a weakened U.S. influence in this instance. I wouldn't say weakened. We just don't want to get involved in it. All right, so getting involved, not getting involved doesn't mean that you're weak. It's just not our war. It's not ours. Mainstream has echoed these concerns. An article from Metro UK detailed the deployment of the drones, noting their lethal impact and the bare apparent disregard for diplomatic overtures, and similarly other ex-post citing Metro UK emphasized the timing of the drone launches, suggesting a calculated move by Vladimir to assert dominance. That could be true. Vladimir just sending a message and telling Donald, nah, it ain't gonna work. You don't tell me what to do. This is my operation here. You guys do your operation out there in Syria and the Middle East. You've been doing all. Again, it's very true. You know, the Sleeping Giant has been doing many military operations since WW2. Again, how many lands have the Sleeping Giant invaded since WW2? How many lands? Many lands. All right, so it says here, however, no direct coverage from major outlets like Reuters, BBC, CNN, and all these news was found in a provided reference to confirm the specific of this event. Now, this gap raises question about the story prominence and top-tier reporting, though the Metro UK article and X discussion indicate significant attention in certain circles. The lack of corroboration from the sources suggests the need for cautious interpretation, as the narrative may be amplified more on social platform than in established journalism. Vladimir's decision to proceed with the drone strike, despite Donald's appeal, could have far-reaching consequences. Analysts suggest that this incident exposes the limits of personal diplomacy between the two leaders, a tactic Donald has often relied upon. Once again, the deployment of these drones, which are relatively low cost but highly effective, also signals the bare commitment to maintaining military pressure regardless of external demands. Now, I said this before, these drones are very, very cheap compared to our drones. And I got too many backlash from a lot of people saying, Louis, that's not true. The deployment of kamikazes, which are relatively low cost, which is cheap compared to ours. And those drones are very powerful. Very powerful. Moreover, the event underscores the challenges facing the U.S. in navigating its foreign policy with the bear. While Donald's direct appeal was a high-profile gesture, its failure to yield result may embolden other adversaries to test U.S. resolve. Now, the absence of immediate commentary from major U.S. outlets in the provided data further complicates the narrative, potentially indicating a divergence in how the story is prioritized globally. All right, so that's what's going on with this one here, guys. Once again, Vladimir has just ignored Donald's demand to stop the war in Ukraine by launching drones. Now, we are definitely seeing a lot of stuff here, guys, and with all these wars, and now India and Pakistan has joined the conflict. I do believe that the world is going to see something. I do believe there's going to be a mushroom cloud pretty soon. Now, guys, I want to show you something really quick here, and this is something that a lot of people is not talking about. I don't think anybody has mentioned this yet, but I want to bring up something really quick. Back in 1993, this man named I think Steven Jackson, right? He's the one that came out with the cards, the Illuminat, cards, and these cards was published in 1993, and it basically shows like future world events or what's to come. Now, there's been a couple of these cards that has come true. For example, 2001. Many of you already know. Let me bring some of that stuff up really quick. But there's two cards that just happened this year that a lot of people are not aware. All right, so I want to bring something up really quick here, guys. Okay, so I want to show you this one. So you have this card here, which many of you already know about this one. This is like the big one here. Kind of looks familiar, right? It's like NY stuff there. 2001. Does look familiar, right? This card here was published back in 1993. 1993. Right? So that's one. Then you have this one here. The Penta, you know what? That was back in 1990. Again, these cards were published in 1993. All right, you got these two right here in 1993. That's kind of everybody's like, whoa, what's going on there? And there's a lot more that came out. A lot more that came out. But I want to show you something really quick here, guys. I want to show you something really quick here. Look at this one. Not too many people's talking about this here. Ark of the Covenant. This year, you had the CIA release the documents that they found the Ark of the Covenant. And you guys know I post that video, and supposedly they found it. Here's the thing, guys. I believe that the Ark was taken. God has taken the Ark of the Covenant. All right. So, but yeah, remember it was big news. Oh, they found the Ark of the Covenant is it's hidden, but they know where they at. So again, they say it's hidden somewhere, and they know where the Ark of the Covenant is at. So again, not too many people talking about this. But here's another one. Here's another one. Here's another one. must remind you, this was published in 1993. The Pope. So you have two cards so far this year has seen something now. Um, what do you guys think? Leave comments down below. Now a lot of people's like, Lewis, these cards is like witchcraft. I don't see it being a witchcraft. I don't. I see it as their plan. All this stuff is already planned. These future world stuff, they already planned all this stuff. A lot of these stuff has been planned. A lot of things has been planned since the 1940s. They got things for the future that hasn't come yet that has been planned in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. So, yeah, again, what do you guys think about it? And I want to show you one more here. WW3. Again, like I said, someone is bound to drop the mushroom cloud. Someone is going to drop the mushroom cloud. So, again, I'm not saying it's going to happen this year, but we got two new key players, and that's India and Pakistan. And those two, they carry nukes. Oh, they got some very, very, very powerful nukes. Extremely powerful nukes. But let me show you another one here, which a lot of people say kind of look like Donald. Enough is enough. All right. Hopefully I don't get hit hard by this platform showing these cards, because these cards, the platform really don't like it, man. But I got to bring it up because a lot of this stuff is their plan. Those in the spotlight, the most powerful ones. And I want to bring one more, and then we're going to go with the next news. Earthquake, the big one. Now, again, this guy that made these cards, Steven Jackson, back in 2001, or I think in the early 2002, like January, right after what happened in NY, he has some very important people like the top gov. They went to visit Steven Jackson and say, we need to talk to you about these cards. What is this? And again, from there, we don't know what Steven Jackson is. He just disappeared. All right, so we don't know anything about him. I mean, I tried to look up some research about him, but yeah, I can, it just, I guess, disappeared. Just want to be anonymous. All right, so we're going to go with this one here, the Holy Land. All right, so the Holy Land. It says here, recent report highlights the Holy Land growing apprehension regarding the sleeping giant negotiation with Persia over its nuclear program. The Holy Land officials fear that the sleeping giant is moving swiftly towards what they describe as a bad deal that fails to prevent Persia from developing nuclear weapons, potentially legitimizing Persia capital Tehran as a nuclear threshold state. Now remember, guys, Donald said that his goal is to make sure Persia, Iran, does not obtain nuclear. He got all these countries with nukes, and Persia wants to be part of it too, and it's not looking good. The sleeping giant has been engaged in talks with Persia, aiming to revive or replace the 2015 Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, commonly known as the Persian nuclear deal. The original agreement, which the sleeping giant withdrew from in 2018 under Donald, aimed to curb Persia's nuclear ambitions in exchange for sanctions relief. Current negotiations, reportedly in advanced stages, have raised concerns in Holy Land about the terms and their implications for regional security. According to multiple sources, Holy Land is deeply concerned that the emerging agreement may not adequately address its security needs. A report by Channel 12, cited by several ex-posts, indicates that the Holy Land believes the sleeping giant is not sharing sufficient details on critical issues, leaving Holy Land officials worried about the deal's effectiveness in blocking Persia's path to a nuclear equipment. The time of Holy Land echoed these settlements, noting fears that the sleeping giant is prioritizing a quick agreement over a robust one that ensures Persia cannot attain nuclear equipment. The Holy Land leaders argue that a weak deal could provide Persia with significant financial resources, potentially tens of billions of dollars, while allowing it to maintain its nuclear infrastructure. A 2023 post from Holy Land Radar highlighted then Prime Minister estimation that a deal might prevent Persia from enriching uranium to 90%, but would still grant Tehran substantial economic benefits, enabling it to advance its nuclear program currently. Now, the prospect of a U.S.-Persia deal that falls short of Holy Land expectation has significant strategic implications. Reports suggest that Holy Land is concerned about losing its ability to act independently against Persia's nuclear facility if the deal legitimizes Persia's status as a nuclear threshold state. Nadav, cited in an ex-post, reported that such an agreement could constrain Holy Land military option, limiting its capacity to launch preemptive strikes. Furthermore, there is apprehensions about the long-term consequences of a deal under the current U.S. administration. An April 2025 report from the news reference on X expressed Holy Land fear that Donald, in his final term, might opt for a flawed compromise rather than decisive action, potentially leaving Persia positioned for a nuclear breakout after his presidency ends. A recurring theme in these reports is the perceived lack of transparency between the U.S. and the Holy Land. Channel 12 coverage, as noted in multiple ex-posts, emphasized Holy Land frustration over the U.S. failure to share detailed information about the negotiation. This communication gap has heightened Holy Land distrust, with officials reportedly feeling sidelined in a process that directly affects their national security. But here's the deal. Donald said that he will back the Holy Land if Persia get nuclear. All right, so Donald said that he's not going to allow Iran to have nukes. We also have this news, guys. U.S. launches secretive Dark Eagle hypersonic missile. Now, I'm not going to read this article. I already read it. So basically, it's back, I believe, in 2024. They test fired a hypersonic, but they have given a name, and that's the the purpose of this news article is basically letting us know that the hypersonic missile has a name, and it's the Dark Eagle. So yeah, I'm just gonna skip this one here. All right, so the New Jerusalem temple burns down. Ooh. After Ukrainian strike. The iconic New Jerusalem Orthodox temple has down as a result of a Ukrainian drone strike. Since the escalation of conflict between these two in February 2022, the Bear region bordering Ukraine has repeatedly been targeted by very powerful equipment as well as explosive drones from across the border. In a post on Telegram late Thursday, you have this person wrote that Ukrainian armed forces have barbarously struck our university beloved New Jerusalem temple compound. During the Holy Easter week, one of the region's holiest places was deliberately struck, he said, adding that Ukrainian UAV subsequently targeted the firefighter who were trying to contain the blaze. All right, give me a second here, guys, to see some more breaking news here. Okay, so Donald said this. The Bear and Crane very close to a deal, says Donald. Guys, I am so done listening to this. It's not close. It's not close. Again, we keep hearing this over and over. The deal is close. You know, we're about to see something here. But no, I mean, again, you got the Bear firing Ballistic. And, you know, I mean, it's still going at it. So I just don't see, any negotiation going on here. It's like this. It's like they keep saying Iran is 2 weeks away from acquiring nukes. And they've been saying that for the past 10 years. So it just, they keep saying that over and over and over. Just, man, it's coming to a point that people's just like, forget it. I'm done. They ain't never going to have nukes. 2 Sleeping Giant airstrike have targeted Yemen, a very, very important region. Other airstrike overnight struck. You have certain cities and areas here, and including the capital. So this is just a routine that's been going on since March the 15th. All right, now we're going to jump with the Holy Land. A long-range ballistic was fired earlier tonight by the Persian-backed groups. So it says here the Holy Land intercepted those equipments. All right, so once again, it says here they used the U.S. Terminal High Altitude Area Defense THAAD battery located in the Negev Desert, according to a senior defense official. So that's like a missile defense system. So I guess they use that to take out the ballistic. Since February, at least 7 ballistic fired from Yemen have been intercepted by the THAAD battery, which was deployed to the Holy Land by Joe in October 2024. All right, so you guys already know India and Pakistan. This one here, I feel like for some reason, if these two go at it and they go at it really bad, I think this will be the area that will see the first mushroom cloud. You guys already know what I'm trying to say here. The mushroom cloud, I do believe, could happen in somewhere in this region. GUN fire erupted again overnight along the line of control, with Indian forces accusing Pakistan of unprovoked strike across multiple posts. Once again, everybody is fine. Nothing bad happened. But again, they keep exchanging fire left and right. This latest clash follows the Pahagam event, the worst in Kashmir in a quarter century, which India blames on Pakistan-backed groups. Now, those group denies it, calling India's claim frivolous, but New Delhi isn't waiting. They have to investigate. You cannot just point fingers. Modi vowed to track and punish every bad group and their backer, triggering a diplomatic freefall. Closed borders, suspended treaties, and expelled diplomats. The world is urging restraint, but history says the next move could be explosive, or perhaps mushroom clouds. Perhaps the mushroom clouds, which again could be nukes. I mean, here we go. This is the one nuclear neighbors on edge. Nuclear neighbors on edge. So I did talk about this. The link will be in the comments box if you guys want to check it out. Okay. Turn off the lights. Save millions of birds. Let's see what's going on here. Every spring, hundreds of millions of birds migrate across North America, mostly at night, navigating by starlight. Artificial lights confuse and take them out. Oh, man. About 600 million gone every year. Are you serious? By crashing into structure lit up against the night sky. Oh, man. Researchers at Colorado State used mobile radar labs to track migration and found that 80% of bird movement happens over just a few critical nights. In early May, simply dimming unnecessary lights could protect millions. Real conversation isn't flashy. Sometimes it's as simple as flipping a switch. So if you turn off your lights, you save many birds. Basically, the birds are being confused with daylight with lights, and just... Someone says switch off lights to aid birds. Someone said that's so sad. I had no idea. Man. So now you guys already know. 600 million birds gone a year. Just turn off the lights. Alright guys, I'm going to skip this one here. This is basically some Looney Tunes are pointing lasers up in the sky, and yeah. There's those young teens that do those type of stuff and think they all tough and everything. Breaking news coming out right now. North Korea unveils first next-generation destroyer. North Korea just launched its first next-generation destroyer with Kim front and center at the ceremony, calling it the starting point for building an advanced maritime power. State media showed off the ship's sleek new look, but kept the specs mostly under wraps. All right, so guys, I think I'm gonna end it here. Yeah, so we have this one. Missile from Yemen trigger sirens across the Holy Land. Ballistic launched from Yemen set off alerts across central and southern Holy Land and many other regions. The Holy Land military says air defense systems are attempting to intercept. All right, so I'm gonna end it right here, and I have, I was gonna say I have some more videos coming up, but yeah, after this, I'm just gonna lay down, guys. But yeah, this is where we are right now. So again, leave comments down below. We are definitely seeing Bible prophecy happening right in front of our faces. I want to thank every single one of you for your support. Thank you so much again, guys. And do me a favor, if this is your first time, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that notification bell, hit that all, so that way you can receive my notifications whenever we upload or go live. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good night. For those of you that want to send us letters, a prayer request, you can send it to me, US Santiago, or my wife, Jessica Santiago, at 3432 US Highway 19, number 2, Holiday, Florida, 34691. Once again, guys, $1 a month Patreon. We get you access to our live stream every Monday. We talk about things that we cannot talk about on the platform. Also, I posted videos today. Those links will be in the comments box. Thank you so much for watching. God bless you all. Put your faith and trust in Jesus Christ, for He's the only way, the truth, and the life. No one gets to the Father except through Jesus. Thank you so much for watching. Till next time later. Peace.